Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly general outlook for the sign of Libra. But before we get into it, just reminding you all that I'm giving away the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck this month with the guidebook and the box. This is a beautiful deck. It's the one that I use right here in most of my readings. And in order to be in the running for that, you just have to be subscribed to my channel and let me know that you're interested in being in the drawing. And on March 31st, I will let you know the winner by a video. So just tune in or put your bell notification on. And then if you are the winner, you'll just have to email me your details so I can ship it out to you. All right, guys, so that's it. We're going to get right into it for Libra, pulling out your romance angel messages for the month. Excuse me, not for the month. My apologies. For the week. Sometimes I just misspeak. I could do a lot of readings, thinking about a lot of things, keeping them separate. So here we go, Libra. Straight out, your romance messages are let go of control issues. This has come up for a couple of the signs this week. Children are affecting your relationships. All right, now. And some of you have passion right now. So right now there's a situation that's calling for a lot of passion in your life, right? It's interesting. Very interesting. Children are affecting some of your relationships, or it could be that you're dealing with relationships that are quite young or immature, right? In its infancy. All right, guys, let's pull out your animal spirits. It's March 15th to the 22nd for Libra. Your sign. Let's see. Been having some interesting animal spirits coming up for this week, so. Alright, here we go. Straight out, we have the gazelle. Wow, just came out earlier. We have the spider, earth energy. The gazelle is, of course, fire. The spider is associated with Dharma. And the crow. Oh, wow. So, Libra, you have the beautiful, magical totem, air totem of the crow. Also, so let's look at these animal spirits before we move on. The gazelle is associated with fire, alchemical symbol for fire, the top of the card. It is beauty in motion. It's grace, right? Gazelles, if you've ever seen them run in the wild or nature shows, they're really, really beautiful. But the spirit of the gazelle is alertness, right? It's alertness, it's attention, it's being very aware. It's being hyper vigilant about danger, right? Danger around you or threatening energies or anything that is something to look out for. The spirit of the gazelle is on high alert, and this can come into your life in a lot of different ways. You may be dealing with a lot of different energies around you. You may be dealing with individuals who are dangerous to a certain degree, energetically, emotionally, maybe even physically, right? You just are at a point in your life where, you're making a lot of decisions. You may be taking a lot of risks in a lot of different areas, whether they be financial or at work or what have you, and for whatever types of dangers that may be around, right? That can even be somebody trying to sabotage you, right? Or somebody trying to sort of work against you behind the scenes, right? That's a risk. That's, like a danger as well. I don't want you to think that it's only just sort of like physical. It's all kinds of dangers, psychic dangers, energetic dangers, right? Red flags as well to look out for, right? So looking out for, those red flags that let you know something is a bit off, right? This is all the spirit of the gazelle. Now, the spider is earth energy, and the spider is associated with Dharma, right? And the web of the spider, that beautiful pattern that the spider weaves in its web, it comes out of the fact that the spider, in its association with living a life of Dharma, every decision the spider makes or every action it takes, every intention or opinion it has is something that is connected to its spiritual faith or belief or its religious beliefs, right? So this is someone who lives their life in what they consider to be the right way of living. Generally, the right way of living is a code or a principle or a belief that is tied to our faith. You know, whether our faith is spiritual or whether our faith is religious, whatever our faith is, when we also, when that faith or that belief is so strong that we also believe in a right way of living associated with that faith, that is said to be living a life of Dharma. And that weaves a very nice web because you're always following the same pattern, you're always following that belief, and it forms a pattern. So the spider generally provides a very strong spiritual and financial and emotional environment for itself and its family. Specifically financial, because it is an earth animal spirit, so it does very, 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 very well financially, maintaining funds, maintaining abundance, right? Working hard and saving. This is the nature of the spider also. So it has a strong financial stability generally for its family, but then also spiritually, it can be a really strong sort of inspiration and leader, and sort of sets an example for its family on how to live your life by Dharma when you have certain beliefs. Very strong animal spirit. Associated with the crow also, hand in hand, having Dharma and magic hand in hand really indicates a very sort of magical lifestyle for a particular Libra out there. Certainly magical energies that are around for you right now. The crow is air energy, and it is, of course, one of the strongest totems for magic, right? It's one of the strongest symbols, or it's one of the symbols of the strongest magic that is there. The crow is highly intelligent. It is a master of magic in this way because it is one of the master totems of magic in this way. So this indicates that your life is about to open up. You may be even having extrasensory perceptions that are starting to open up, intuition. You may be beginning to sort of see a very magical side of life. You may be beginning to understand certain secrets of life. And I mean this in not so much like one of these sort of spiritual haughty ways, like, oh, I'm so I mean like in a very real way. You'll know what I'm talking about if you're resonating with the crow. Let's go ahead and get right into your spreads for the week, Libra. Making sure to pull out 3 spreads. Now these spreads are considered to be separate experiences for separate Libras. So you may not resonate with all of them. You only may resonate with one of them, or even just a small bit of one of them, right? So whatever applies to you, just take it as it comes. If it doesn't apply, then it just isn't for you, and that's fine. You know, we know these readings can't be for everybody. And I feel like that's one of the things I always want to, you know, make sure I tell everyone that not all readings are for all people. All right, guys, straight out, you have the Fool, Ace of Swords, beautiful. Ooh, and 7 of Cups. Some of you are coming into this week starting a new stage in your life, right? You're very excited to go down a completely new stage in your life, completely new sort of avenue, perhaps. You may be starting a new job, you may be moving, you may be starting school, or what have you. There is something going on with you that's fresh and new, and you feel very, very excited about it. Coming into this week, though, you come across Ace of Swords energy, so you have a lot of clarity on how you're wanting to move forward. Ace of Swords brings a lot of information. It brings clarity. It brings original thinking and ideas and solutions. So right now, you're feeling really inventive. You're feeling really, really inspired. So this could be a whole new creative avenue that you're going down, or an avenue that is requiring you to really be creative with your thinking and your problem solving. So this is quite exciting. For some reason, this could be a project that some of you are about to start. It could be a new avenue at work that you guys are about to go down, right? It could be just a new stage in your life, but generally this feels like something that might be associated with either your creative projects or your work projects, your business projects, something that you really put a lot of your heart into, but also something that you have to really think about in terms of a planning stage, something that's very inventive and new. It's going to bring some kind of returns back to you. But the Fool here certainly indicates a new path in that. However, by the end of the week, you do resonate with 7 of Cups. So be careful. Some of you are having some very unrealistic expectations about this time in your life. So just be very careful. Try to let things unfold naturally, right? Let go of control issues is up here. So try to let things unfold naturally and try not to be over sort of, I want to say, idealistic about the way things can work out. Seven of Cups reminds you to remain grounded when you're thinking about your dreams and your goals and ambitions. And there are some ambitions or goals that we have that are unrealistic, you know, they're just simply unrealistic. So we always have to remember not to get too far-fetched or be sold a fairy tale when you're dealing with other people who may be trying to sell you a dream that isn't reachable, but they want to get something out of you. That can also be associated with Seven of Cups, being taken advantage of in that way, because you're willing to believe, you know what I mean, a story or something like that without any proof. So be very careful with all that. Try not to get carried away, and try to remain grounded throughout this period if this is what you're going through, Libra. Three of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Some of you are going through a period this week where certain events are coming in, and the way energies are around you this week, you're just feeling like you're having to stand still. Three of Wands really talks about being extremely patient, standing still, and waiting for some more information to come in about a situation in your life before you make a decision. Even though you may be raring to go, life is slowing you down right now. This is how you're feeling coming into the week. Some of you are then resonating with this or coming up against this Nine of Cups energy, which is a real sort of feeling of blessings. It could be that as you're waiting to move on one area of your life, this week you may have had some meetings and, you know, events. You may have gone out with coffee with friends, and just generally you feel quite happy. I think you feel quite blessed about the relationships you have. And I think it gives you a sense of perspective. Nine of Cups can come in to bring a sense of perspective in your life sometimes when you're feeling a bit like you're lonely, or you're feeling like you don't have anyone, because Nine of Cups is someone who is not necessarily connected to someone in a long-term union. You can see them alone on the card. Nine is the number for the Hermit also. So all the 9 cards indicate individuals who are going through that path alone and unconnected. And so Nine of Cups still indicates happiness and being blessed. So it's a kind of, you know, getting perspective on your life and being reminded of the lucky relationships you already have, right? And so in this way, you understand what happiness truly is. This is a good thing. Just generally it comes in where you need to be grounded, when you need to get perspective. By the end of the week, you round off with a Knight of Wands. So somebody else comes into you. This could be the person or the event that you've been slowed down to wait for, right? So this could be somebody new coming in who's going to really bring some ideas about how to move forward. Whatever area in your life you wanted to move forward with here, this could again be a creative endeavor. It could be an endeavor for work. It could be it's a passion of yours anyway, right? I don't feel like it's a relationship, right? It could be, but I don't think it's a relationship. I think it's a creative endeavor in some way that maybe either you're doing as a hobby, you're doing for yourself, whatever the case is. This is an objective of something you're trying to achieve that you have all your sort of you know, your passion into. And by the end of this period, this week, maybe next week even, a Knight of Wands comes in, and I think that's whatever energy or person you were meant to slow down and wait for. They're going to help you sort of move along with this creative endeavor. This could be anything, you know, it could be anything from inventing something to writing an album to, you know, writing a book, creating an album, creating a play, you know, setting up something at work, creating, you know, some kind of philosophy in terms of business, whatever that you could possibly think of that's in a creative endeavor, this could be it. It's just what's important here is that it's going to be something that you feel very passionate about. And if that's the case, then you'll be resonating with this reading. You'll know exactly what I mean. This is your last spread, 2 of Cups, 8, which is Strength, Major Arcana, and 7, the Chariot. Very nice. So again, this feels like a real sort of exciting time of life here for Librans. You're coming into the week with the commitment that you've made with someone to be together. 2 of Cups talks about that time when we come together and we agree, we meet, we sort of say, yeah, we're going to be together. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. We're this, we're that. Whatever that agreement is, whatever agreement for you that needs to be made to acknowledge that you are in a union with someone, or that you are you're in love with someone, they're in love with you. This is what we talk about with the 2 of Cups. So this can be very simple, right? It could just be an agreement that you're together and you're working on a monogamous relationship, or you're working on some kind of, love exchange relationship. or whatever, right? But this is happening now with someone. You're coming into the week, though, with a lot of energies and experiences that are causing you to sort of resonate with strength, right? Having to dig deep and pull out that strength. So there's something going on in your life that may be sort of very emotional. You're trying not to make decisions emotionally or out of any sort of negative emotions, right? Overexcited negative emotions, or just passions like anger, things like that. You might be a little bit jealous, or whatever the case is. This is what strength is about. It's about being able to control our emotions and still act accordingly, act the way we want to act, rather than only acting the way our emotions are dictating. That will be weak, right? So this is what we talk about in terms of being strong, and being strong over yourself, and being strong in the face of a situation that is emotionally volatile, right? So in any case, something about this union is causing this. By the end of the week, you're really starting to sort of think about you moving forward. What's the next step? Where do we want to go from here? It could be that you have come into union with someone that, for whatever environmental reasons, I don't know why, maybe family or the environment, but something around you guys is causing you to have to be really strong. And maybe you're beginning by the end of this certain period, week or 2 weeks, deciding that perhaps the best place for you guys to be is to move forward, to move into the next stage of your life together. Maybe move away from your environment that's causing this, feeling, right? Or just change the environment, or whatever the case is. To have goals, right? If you can't leave, or if you can't move, or if you can't adjust it, whatever your forward goals are, all of that is associated with the Chariot. So this will be a really strong week of you coming together with somebody, and then really very quickly for you to deciding what is the next step for you in terms of reaching a place where you are happy and where you want to be, reaching your goal, right? 7 is the number for dreams and aspirations. So the Chariot is all about reaching those dreams and aspirations. And here we talk about whatever that is for you, Libra, and your loved one that you just came together with. Very, very interesting. You may be resonating with spirit of the spider in a sense that you may be wanting to live a life of Dharma together, right? You may have a certain belief or spiritual belief, and you're finding that you want to be much more intentional about living that life. So here comes the Chariot, and you really start to plan that out also. Very interesting. Some of you may also be planning for children, okay? That could be something else that is very, very emotional that may be coming in. Might be one of the reasons why you're having to have all that strength this week. And again, we get right back to having to plan the future because something important is coming. So for some of you, it could be the idea that you're going to be having children. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at the end of that. That is your reading, Libra, for this week, March 15th to the 22nd. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to leave me comments. Let me know if you're going through these scenarios. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to be in the running for the Animal Spirit deck. But for right now, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I wish you a wonderful week, and I shall see you next week for your weekly general outlook. Bye-bye, Libra.